And we are live. So my name is Edward Russell. I am the founder of Social Revenue. We are a digital marketing agency who help business owners grow their business online, but probably not how you think. So today I'm going to be talking about how to make sure you're not leaking money when new leads are generated online. But before we begin, let me just quickly remember to say you should go to www.workwithed.com. The link is in the description here. That's Ed with two Ds. If you go over there, you can fill out a client application form, and if it makes sense for us to work together, you can come and work with our agency, and we can make you a whole bunch of money online. It'll be very fun. Okay, so getting into the content, today we're going to be looking at how to make sure you're not leaking money online. A lot of businesses, when they have leads come in, they're paying good amounts of money to be generating leads through Facebook ads, SEO, that's being high on Google, and then someone comes in, they ring up, they get on the phone with someone, and then we find that the receptionists may say things like, hey, can you call back later? So-and-so's not in at the office right now, or they might not even pick up at all, or they might be a bit rude to the customer, or the potential customer, I should say. And the problem is a lot of people think that this doesn't happen in their business. This is the kind of issue when we hear about it, we go, oh, wow, that's terrible for everyone else, but it doesn't happen with me. And the reason we don't think these happen with ourselves is because we aren't monitoring it. So what usually happens is when we go into a business, we sign all the documents, we get everything done. Once we start working out and monitoring the quality of leads, we can say, hey, look, our marketing has generated you these leads, and look how high quality they are because we've got the recordings of it. We often, usually the first thing that happens is the business owner who's on the other side of the table is in shock at how their own staff are treating the leads. They had no idea it was happening. It's very rare to actually see it and go, oh, wow, I was very, very happy with it, unless you've trained. It's a really important thing, because if it's costing you, let's say £80 per person to get on the phone with your business, and then they're poorly treated, that's not only just the money that you spent to generate it down the drain, but also it's the potential revenue that could have been down the future, especially if there's other people on Google they could search to and go and find those instead. So it becomes a really important thing to make sure that when you are generating leads, you're getting those people to go through a process, right? You have a process for them to follow on the other end of the phone, so that when they ring up, they're polite, they do it quickly, and they make it very easy to be giving money, right? That's a really key one. If it's not easy to give money to you, it's really hard for someone to do business. So you want to make it so that if they're their wallet in hand, it's very easy for them to leave a deposit, book in something to come and see someone, because again, that's a very common one we've seen as well. We've had calls where, this is on behalf of clients, got to keep my discretion and not say too much about them. But what would happen is, they ring up, they've got their wallet there, they're like, hey, can I put it down on deposit now? They go, well, no, you should go and talk to someone first. Well, hey, no, you should be taking that deposit. You should go and find out, hey, is this someone who can buy from us? So really important way of doing that is monitor the quality of the leads that come in. Really good thing you can use there is a piece of software called CallRail. If you go to callrail.com, you can go and set that up. They are an American company, so if you're in the UK, there is a bit of extra things you have to do. You have to phone them up to get them to set it up in the UK, but that's been extremely invaluable to us, because not only has it been able to allow us to know that leads are coming in from certain sources, but it also then allows us to know that it's making money from those sources as well, because it's all monitored. Also, there's a thing about legality, making sure it's done in a privacy compliant way. You just have a message at the start of the call saying these calls may be monitored for recording purposes, for training purposes, and then you also have to notify your staff under EU law, and you've got to tell them that they're being recorded to not infringe on their personal rights. So once you've done all those things, you can just start tracking these things. And as well, giving training to your staff is such a key thing as well. Like this, it's not your staff's fault if they are the ones who are not answering the phone properly. Really, it's your fault as the business owner. The buck stops with you. You should really be teaching your staff to make sure that they're the ones handling it correctly. And of course, you monitor it as well to just make sure they're doing it properly. But you don't want to berate them for not doing that. You give training first, right? It's very hard for someone to do something like that if they didn't know what the rules of the game were first. So once they realize, hey, okay, these are being recorded, these are being monitored, and they're an important metric, it's easy, right? At that point, everyone will get handled correctly. And it also increases customer satisfaction as well. You get more of your clients and customers saying, like, oh yeah, we were handled correctly when we came in to speak to that business. That business actually cares about us, and that leads to happy and loyal customers over time. So not only do you've paid for them to come in, but they've then given you some initial money, you've made a profit there, but they could be repeat customers in the future as well. So that could be a really profitable way of bringing in new customers. But this is an area that not many people focus on. It's a really key thing. If you're not focusing on this area, and making sure that you're making your leads convert when they come online, then you're going to be losing out over the long term. So no one really focuses on this. People usually focus on the wrong area. They focus on, oh, how do we get people in? But until someone's handed you money, this isn't a business yet. You've just been marketing it. So once the marketing's done well, you've got to then make sure the conversion process is working correctly to the other side. I'm seeing a couple of people come online here. We've got 5 people on. So if you guys have any comments or anything, leave them down below. I'll be answering any questions at the end here if there are any there. Other than that, it's a really key thing. It's really simple. Very few people do it. So on that note, once again, if you found this content interesting and you want to work with me and my team and we can help you grow your business online, you can go to www.workwithed.com. Once again, the link is in the description. And once again, it's Ed with 2 Ds. Not 1D, edd.com, and you can fill out an application form, and then if we are a fit, we can work together. But as I said, just once again, really want to reiterate this point. It's such a key thing because you can measure it. It doesn't have to be up to chance, especially because once you get enough leads in, you get enough people coming in, you want to make sure that those people are converting, right? And it's just a game of averages at that point too. Especially if they've come in through something like SEO and they're actively searching for you, right? You haven't advertised them, you haven't forced it upon them. They have very collaboratively said, hey, I've got this problem. Your company can't help me solve this problem. I need it urgently enough that I'm going to ring up. Then man, come on. Like, you've got to make sure that at that point, we're making it as easy as possible for them to do business with us. You won't get warmer leads than that. That was pretty much the warmest quality of lead you can possibly get. And of course, to not bring those people on is simply just leaking money. It's leaving money on the table, and it's not growing the business as proficiently as you could do. And everyone loses that. You lose because you lose money. The customer loses because they didn't get the problem solved by you. They probably have to go to an inferior competitor. And we as your agency, we lose too, because you paid us to get all these things done, and you probably won't want to stay that long if you don't have a working sales process from this. We're not doing this just for our own sake. We're doing it because we legitimately want to help you. And you need to be making money from your work with us. If you're not making money from working with us, it just doesn't make any sense to do so. So it's very much in our vested interest to make sure that you're making substantially more money than you're paying us from it. And really, the most important way of doing that is this third step of the process, which is getting people to generate. Once the lead's generated, getting that lead to contact you, and then having it really easy to get some money off them to then get them to become a customer. Because if that doesn't happen, you just aren't making any money, are you? So that's the key bit there. Thanks again for watching. I'll be live again tomorrow, probably around the same kind of time. Going to be going live each day over the next week. So once again, guys, thanks very much for watching. I'm seeing no questions in the comments, so I'm going to leave it there for now. And I shall speak to you soon. Thank you and good night.